Hello everybody and welcome back to the Brickazoids Den. Alright, so I just finished watching the Owl House Season 2 Episode 10 mid-season finale, yesterday's lie. Yeah, it was fine. I mean, I guess I went in with the expectation that there was just going to be a lot of explaining and a lot of, I wouldn't say Emperor's Coven stuff, like more Earth stuff, how to get back to the human realm and stuff like that. But there really kind of wasn't. It was more of an evil lose as well, or doppelganger lose was nothing crazy either. It was just kind of like a basilisk that escaped the Boiling Isles. I don't know. I think I mixed on it. I think the losing Camilla stuff was cool. That was great. But just kind of like, I thought the doppelganger was, there was all these theories that I had about the doppelganger, and it just ended up being some random basilisk called number 5, or V, whatever, multiple names, and I don't know. I gotta sit on it a little bit more, but right now I'm just kind of mixed. Alright, so we'll start with the opening, I guess, the opening of this episode. Basically, we're in the human realm, we're at Camilla's house, and then evil Luz, doppelganger Luz, whatever, was cleaning the room and getting rid of all of the original Luz's stuff. And then, when they're outside, Camilla saves a bunny from a snare trap, I believe, or something like that. And then when evil Luz goes back to the house, looks in the mirror, and sees regular Luz yelling at her. And then that's kind of like where the opening ends. So, yeah, that was about it for the opening. Nothing too crazy, but we'll move on into the A plot now. Alright, so it's no B plot, no C plot, whatever. Mainly just A. So we have Luz, King, and Ida building a makeshift portal door, and they power it up. And then Luz says goodbye as she puts a rope around her waist, so that if the portal closes, Ida can pull Luz out with the rope. And then, so Luz jumps in, floats to the top of the pool, or a pool of this liquid. I don't know what it is. We did see that scene, or that shot in the trailer as well. And then some sort of box thing floats out of the water as well. I believe we saw that from the trailer too. And then Luz touches it and travels into the window of the owl house. So now she can do window travel, reflection travel, whatever you want to call it. And then there was a scene where Luz says Amity, and it brought up a box at Amity's window, but then she pushes it down. And then, because she goes, oh, I can go check on Amity, and then she's like, uh-oh, wait. And then Luz is in an iPhone reflection or something like that of Camilla's house, because she says Camilla, and it brings up a box where Camilla lives, and it brings Luz into like an iPhone iPod reflection in the kitchen. And then Luz sees evil doppelganger Luz. There's a lot of like evil doppelganger, evil Luz, all that everywhere. And then evil Luz notices the reflection of regular Luz. It's going to get confusing. Then evil Luz goes to, kind of like runs away, because evil Luz is freaked out about regular Luz showing up again. So evil Luz goes to the old house where the original portal door was, where a regular Luz went into to get her book back from Season 1, Episode 1. And then, so we learn that evil Luz is a Boiling Isles demon, and this demon is named V or something like, yeah, that was V. So V stayed with Camilla and needs magic to transform. So V needs to find some sort of way to get magic. And regular Luz is in like a little, what is it, like the little like pocket mirrors reflections, so that regular Luz can be carried around everywhere. And then, so V Luz regular Luz sees a news. I'm already getting confused. My mind is being completely thrown around with all these loses. So regular Luz sees a newspaper of Ida stealing or committing a crime. Very Ida thing to do from a coffee shop, and then V Luz goes into the coffee shop looking for some sort of magic to that V can transform into Luz again, presumably. And then V goes to the back of the coffee shop because there's the trash can there, like outside. And then, because apparently they had to throw away cursed croissants that clearly Ida did something to. And then a bunch of high schoolers are using Hexus Hold'em cards, and V approaches them to hopefully get magic or find a way to get magic. And while that's happening, Luz is freaking out because Luz had to give V a pep talk about dealing with high schoolers and how they can ruin your life immediately. But V seemed pretty okay because it looks like they were all friends. So then they go to the Gravesfield Museum, which has Hexus Hold'em cards because Ida sold them to the curator there. And then we learn that V's real name is number 5, and V is a Basculus. So then number 5 turned into Luz, and then when V walks into a room where she smells magic, we learn that the curator is a conspiracy theorist about magic on Earth and / the Boiling Isles. And the museum guy saw Owl Beast Ida at one point, and we learn that his conspiracies are completely incorrect, and he thinks that demons come from Mars and are trying to build a time machine or something like that. So V and Luz have this kind of like talk, and then V breaks Luz's mirror so that Luz can be safer, can't be seen by this curator guy. So then Luz went back to the house to explain everything to Camilla. Then Camilla goes to the museum. The curator explains the backstory of demons, where it seems 2 brothers, very Gravity Falls-esque, met some guy or made a deal with some guy, and they were went to the were sent to the Boiling Isles. So if there's 2 of them, Philip and Bellows could be brothers, potentially. I don't know. There's a lot to unpack. Who knows? It could be even incorrect knowing this guy. So then Camilla sees a video that the guy showed of this Basculus demon, and shows that Camilla has been living with a demon literally the whole time that Luz has been gone. So obviously that's not good. And then Camilla now believes Luz, and the curator wants to dissect V. So then Camilla has to break out the Basculus, or V, whatever you want to call her. Cages up the curator, and Camilla gives V Hexus Hold'em cards and allows V to stay as long as she wishes, or as long as she wants. And then we have this ending scene, basically, which is probably, in my opinion, the most interesting part of this whole episode. And Camilla breaks down about Luz being gone for so long. Luz says, I think it was pretty much intentional, like it wasn't on accident or anything, but Luz says that she chose to stay there. She chose to stay in the Boiling Isles, and now Camilla is like freaking out because Luz chose to stay, and Camilla's like saying that she promises that things are going to be different, and if it was that bad to live with in the human realm with her, then she has to go change something. So she makes Luz promise to that when she officially comes home, that everything will be different, and in the human realm when she officially gets back. So again, that whole confrontation was probably the most interesting part of this entire episode to me, besides some of the very small amount of, like, I don't know, I guess exposition on potentially Philip and Bellows. I have a new theory brewing right now. But, yeah, that was really about it. Again, I was kind of, I don't know why, maybe I'm just, I think with this whole season, There have just been so many episodes where it's just been like this. And this episode, I was kind of like, all right, this has got to be even more now because this is the mid-season finale. And like, I just like, I compared it to the Gravity Falls season 2 mid-season finale with which was oh no, what was it called? Not What He Seems, I think. Not What He Seems. I think so. And that whole episode was like, I was on my at the edge of my seat, freaking out, being like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? And the ending was crazy. And I agree. I think this ending was pretty good. This ending was pretty crazy because Camilla now learned that Luz chose to stay in the Boiling Isles, away from her and everything. So I don't know. That's a lot, but I got to yeah. I'm still thinking about it again. I just finished watching the episode, maybe 5 minutes ago. All right, so this is kind of recorded after a little while after I recorded the kind of like the running through the actual episode. Yeah, I don't know if this is really a favorite of mine. I'll be honest. I think I was expecting way more than what it delivered. Again, I'm comparing this to like the Gravity Falls mid-season finale before, where we had all that Stanford Pine stuff and all these crazy things happening, and the ending was like huge. Got to see the author of the journals and everything, and then I watched this, and I'm just like, man, what? Evil Luz was a thing that was hyped up from season 1. Some random person who we don't even know was writing letters to Camilla in the human realm, but it couldn't have been Luz, because obviously Luz can't access the human realm. And then at the end of episode 4, I think, when Camilla's crying, and then Evil Luz hands her a tissue, it just like, I was expecting Bellows. There've been some things about like cloning, I think, in the Owl House universe. Hunter could be a clone or some theory. I'll probably do a theories video or like a what I'd want to see for season 2B, but like it just ended up being a random Basilisk. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I get it, it's still a kids show, but like, I just thought for a mid-season finale it would be a little bit more crazy, or a little bit more not story driven, I shouldn't say that. Every episode's a story driven thing, so just more tightly wound so that it would be more of a threat, I guess. Be like, oh no, Bellows has been making an evil doppelganger this whole time of Luz, oh no, that type of thing. I mean, the Camilla stuff was great. It was good to see Luz and Camilla reunite. And then that whole ending scene I thought was good as well. But just, I don't know, it was a simple villain, a simple human villain. I think that's fine because they were in the human realm. Well, yeah, they were in the human realm, so just having a museum curator be the villain is fine, I guess. Just, I don't know. I don't know. I'm very mixed. I feel like I'm in the middle here on how I feel about it. I'm still thinking about it, but it's definitely not one of my favorites. I mean, we did get a little bit of kind of exposition, or not exposition, more like backstory, I guess, because the curator talked about two brothers making some sort of deal or talking with this guy about, and then they traveled to the Boiling Isles, I guess, and we're led to believe, I would think, that it's Philip and somebody else. Could be Bellows. I don't know. Could potentially be Bellows. I just don't know how I feel. I'm really, really mixed, but yeah. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this one. I'm going to think about this for the rest of the day and just kind of how I feel. And especially because we're going on a hiatus now. We're not going to have new Owl House episodes next week or the week after, potentially. I don't know exactly how long the hiatus is going to last. And just, I don't know if I feel good about how this ended, or how this was the episode that was the ending for the season 2, or A, I guess. I don't know how I feel. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, do that whole deal. Regular common YouTube stuff. And then I will see you next time.